Howdy doody, it's the Hidden Hermit here, having a look at the, it's the Three of Swords. I appreciate I sounded a little bit cheery there. When the Three of Swords comes up, it does indeed convey a feeling of doom and gloom. Maybe rightfully so, maybe not. But yeah, let's have a wee think about the Three of Swords from the Waite Smith. Now, it's an image that has been repeated not just in tarot decks, not just in contemporary tarot decks in popular culture, but the pierced heart rocks up all over the place. Not necessarily with three swords in it, to be fair, but you see it everywhere. You really do. I mean, even to the flaming Sacred Heart from Catholicism, not necessarily pierced all the time, but that could very well be one of the influences on Pamela Colman Smith's depiction of the Three of Swords. So when we think about the Three of Swords, we think about sorrow, and we think about suffering, regret, and loss. Now, there is indeed another video out there where I talk about the Three of Swords in a lot of depth. It's one of those cards that means something to me and something else to a lot of other tarot readers. The word heartbreak comes up a lot. And yeah, I suppose, this heart is been pierced and broken, but I always like to remind people that the Three of Swords is indeed from the Suit of Swords. So I believe that the cause of this sorrow is the mind overruling the emotion. So that here you have the logical, reasonable part of your mind piercing quite a bright red emotive heart. But the focus should be the swords, in my opinion. That is just my opinion. And a lot of people, I understand, would probably disagree with me. But, that's fine. They can do that. So the Three of Swords, astrologically, is Saturn in Libra. And that's important as well. So, when I think about the Three of Swords, and it's interesting when you say things like restrictive and discipline when you think about Saturn. But Saturn is there to teach you lessons, maybe in a harsh way, to be fair, maybe in a way that isn't quite so lovey-dovey, but lessons indeed it is trying to teach us. There's a very karmic feel to that Saturn energy coming into Libra. So Libra, of course, is about balance. It's about fairness. It's about hearing the other person's point of view. But when Saturn comes along, it's a lot more direct, I think. And indeed, the Three Swords is very, in my opinion, very Saturnian in nature. Now, when the Three of Swords comes out reversed, I like to think when the Three of Swords comes out reversed, it's not quite as bad as if it did if it was upright. And I use the word bad quite loosely. So perhaps the issue at hand is not quite as harsh as what we thought. Perhaps there may be an opportunity to salvage the situation if it comes up in a read in reverse. Maybe perhaps there is still a little bit of a lesson to learn, or perhaps the lesson has been learned and we can move on from that dark, gloomy vibe, if you like. That's the vibe with the Three of Swords, upright and reverse. What I do find interesting is it's quite a balanced image. Yes, it is a Libra card, so you do have this sense of balance, if you like, and that sense of balance is maintained, if you like, with the Three of Swords reverse. I also like to point out that the Ace of Swords is holding that sword upright, just like these ones are, whereas when it comes out when the Three of Swords comes out upright, it's like the Ace of Swords reversed. So I always think that's an interesting way of looking at it. I'm going to shut up at this point because I could talk about the Three of Swords for ages and ages and ages, and I'm not going to do that right now because these videos are meant to be short. So there you have it. That's the Three of Swords from the Waite Smith Tarot. Thank you very much.